You now have system requirement. So objective, introduction, tools for system requirement, requirement determination. Tools for system required stakeholder interview, joint requirement development session, contract style requirement, requirement determination. Activities in requirement analysis, basic requirement. Since analysts do not work on manager, employee, and user department, they don't have time bits of fact detail. Therefore, an early step of analysis investigation to understand situation, certain resources are fundamental. Now you have tools for systematic requirement, elicit requirement, analyzing requirement, and recording requirement. Stakeholders interview or common method, joint requirement development session, contract style requirement, measurable goal, prototype, user system prototype, prototyping benefits. Evolutionary prototyping, two-way prototyping. Then use cases. Requirement determination. So in requirement determination, you have activities in requirement analysis, which is required anticipation, investigation, and specification. So requirement anticipation, the activity is basically foreseeing system characteristic based on previous experiences. The system is due to prior similar may foresee requirement. He may also foresee certain types of feature requirement for new system. As a result, feature these investigate for current system and their rest. Requirement anticipation can be mixed blessing. On one hand, experience from previous studies can lead to investigation areas unnoticed by experience. Then requirement investigation, then specification, analysis of actual date, identification of essential requirement, selection of representative strategies. Then you have basic requirement, which is understanding the process, identifying data used for information needed, determining process timing and volume, identifying controls. Then you have types of requirement, functional requirement, non-functional requirement. Then you have summary. This was a small chapter, but I'll talk about the keywords again. So analyzing requirement determines whether the stated requirement are clear, unclear, incomplete, ambiguous, contradictory. So these are analyzing the requirement. External requirement. These are the requirements which happens from vector which are external. Functional requirement. It is a point to state of several services that a system should offer, how the system should respond. Organization requirement. These are requirements which are result of organization plans and procedures. Product requirement. These are the requirements which state that the delivered product must perform in specified manner. Prototype. A working system that is developed to test ideas and assumption about the system. Recording requirement. Recording requirement may be documented for various forms such as natural language. Use case is technique for documenting potential requirement for new system of change. This was about requirement in part. So there was a small chapter. So stakeholders interview, joint requirement development session, contract style requirement, requirement determination is activities in requirement and basic requirement. So measurable goals, prototype, user system prototype, requirement analysis, requirement validation, prototyping benefits, enhance system usability, closer match to requirement, enhance design, enhance maintainability. Then evolutionary prototyping, throwaway prototyping. User cases. Then requirement determination. This has requirement anticipation, requirement and requirement specification. Then types of requirement is functional requirement, non-functional requirement. And then you have the summary.